Do we want to just go in the order that they are on our list, council members?
Well, that would probably keep us a little less confused.
And so if we do that, John, you would have the first question?
No.
No.
No,
Sorry, wrong. We have to look at reappointment. Kathy Wood,
Yes.
excuse me.
We know what we're doing, really we do.
Yes.
I'm too sharp. After serving on the Planning Commission for several years, what suggestions do you have that would improve the group's role in the city development process?
Well, basically, Planning Commission is still in an advisory mode capacity for the city of Maplewood. So I don't anticipate that changing as we go forward for the city of Maplewood. Based on that premise, look at the development side. I would still say that one of the things that I see when proposals are brought towards the Planning Commission, more business-related proposals would be really nice to see forthcoming. Because as I see, being a resident of Maplewood for 18 years and serving on the Planning Commission for 8, Legacy Village was probably the last big development that was brought forward to the city of Maplewood. The Legacy Village proposal went through fairly well considering all the issues, the economy going in the tank, all those things happening. But at the same time, if you look at what the Legacy Village proposal was originally and what we are ending up at, we have deducted a lot of business-related or more revenue-generated types of plans out of that Legacy Village. And in my estimation, that's one key area that we really need to bring more emphasis on and bringing it in to the city of Maplewood from planning purposes.
Thank you.
Mr. Antonin is standing in the role of Mr. Lannis, who's late.
Sure.
His name is Jim.
Yes. As a follow-up to question number 1, what suggestions do you have that would improve the city as a whole in terms of land use controls or zoning ordinances? Or zoning constraints, I'm sorry. Land use controls or zoning constraints?
As I look at it, I don't think in the last 2 to 3 months, the Planning Commission has been in the process of trying to clean up the land use and the zoning discrepancies that have been with us for a lot of years. As those are getting cleaned up, I really don't see a real need to make any major changes as we move forward. Once we clean them up, I think both the zoning rules as well as the land use rules are fairly well applicable to the future needs of Maplewood, and we should continue with them.
Thank you. As kind of just a follow-up to that, do you think that the fact that we just went through the update of the comprehensive land use plan, that kind of plays into that too? That, I mean, we really have just gone through a process of cleaning things up?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And we've been having follow-up meetings for, 3 or 4 meetings where we have taken piecemeal of that comprehensive plan and gone in and said, okay, here are all the discrepancies we are seeing within our each area, because we all happen to be from different parts of Maplewood, and we agreed that we'd take areas that were more applicable to our own vicinity and make sure that the land use and the zone were matching up correctly.
All right.
As a planning commissioner, what has been your greatest reward and what has been your greatest disappointment?
Reward-wise, I look at it from a holistic point of view that the reason I joined Planning Commission was to serve the city of Maplewood. I feel that every person who has an opportunity to serve in the community should serve in the community. So as a member of Planning Commission, I bring my knowledge base of the technical aspects, engineering-related aspects, as well as some of the business-related issues that I have experience with that I can transfer into proposals that come on in front of the Planning Commission to serve, I feel very good about serving them. Disappointment, I would really say some of the issues that happened to the city as a whole affected the Planning Commission as well. In the past administration that was there, all the rancor that went on, all of that, even though a lot of it would have happened to City Council directly, that doesn't mean that it does not affect Planning Commission or any other commissions within the city, and it did affect us, including the fact that me being a citizen of Maplewood, when I am at work or with friends and people make jokes of Maplewood, that definitely hurts. And so that has been my greatest disappointment, that we, the citizens of Maplewood, let that whole process slip as far as it did in the name of progress, when I thought we were going backwards rather than moving forwards.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tushar. My question is pretty short. It's just, are you willing and interested in participating in land use training such as that sponsored by the League of Minnesota Cities?
John, I do not have any disagreement or refusal to go get training, but my recommendation for training is both for land use and zone, because all of our members, especially right now, you'd say more than half of our group is fairly new to the Planning Commission.
Mm-hmm.
There is still confusion as to how the two interact with each other. So I would not say that you just need for land use, but the zoning aspect. And one class that I did attend quite a few years ago, my take-home message from that class was that it wasn't as much beneficial to me, because the application as we see it in the city of Maplewood and how it would apply to us, or the way we are trying to apply, I didn't get that out of that class. So is there an opportunity that, and our staff has a lot of experience, can they maybe make up a class for us? And one of the Planning Commission meetings, when there are no items on the agenda, they take us through that class, where we would have a lot of one-on-one interaction with the person presenting us the class, as well as within our internal group, where we would have the questions. Because when you are there to that class off-site by yourself, there is no interaction amongst the Planning Commission members. So for me, I would recommend bringing it in-house.
That's a very good suggestion, and we're going to make sure that staff listens to that. On the topic of the LMC training, the specific thing the reason I wanted to add this to the question list, I forgot the last time I was at a Planning Commission meeting to bring it up, but the League of Minnesota Cities Insurance Trust has a new program where there's actually a discount for cities that have, they're developing an online training course. And so if a quorum of the City Council and the chair of the Planning Commission and at least one additional Planning Commission member participate in this online training, which the city could pay for, then we get a discount on our deductible, basically.
I'm all for
so
it.
we get some money.
I'm all for it.
But I think that on the one hand, I want to know, if someone's willing to do that,
Yes.
because it would benefit the city,
Sure.
and we'll need some people to do it. But the other is your suggestion on some sort of in-service training for the whole commission at once on the basics, I think is a really good idea and something that we should be listening to. So thank you for that.
And, even city councils, if they participated, we'd all be on the same page
Yeah.
with the interaction
That's a
that
very
would
good,
take place.
very good point.
What a thought.
I see our city manager is taking notes enthusiastically.
Good.
So I lost track. Marv, have you already asked your question?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're down to me. So, Tushar, this is really just your thought on kind of your performance. Do you think that you have been effective or have made a difference while serving as a member of the Planning Commission?
I personally have the belief that if I did not make a difference, then I would not bother with continuing with the re-enlistment process. I definitely feel I've made a difference. I brought my technical expertise into the play, as well as within our group, over the years, we've had a tendency to have personal feelings get interjected into the proposals that come on the table for us to consider. And I myself think that I tend to look at the rules that we have to abide by and try to bring the group back to that reality and say, hey, folks, yeah, it would be nice to have, but here is what our rules are saying. Let's abide by them and let's decide the proposal on those bases. So I definitely feel I've made contributions to the commission.
All right. Any kind of follow-ups anybody has or anything? You had made a couple of really good points. I know that you got John excited with your answer, having to do with training. Do you have any kind of questions or anything?
Nope, but just like to know what the process is going forwards from you folks as to when are you deciding on the re-enlistment and when will we know about it?
Well, from what I see, we will have conducted all interviews with any people that we currently have interested in the Planning Commission during the course of this evening. And so I would presume, I mean, at the end of the evening then, that means that essentially our selections will be made.
Okay.
And so I would suspect within the next week, everybody will be told the outcome of that.
Sounds good.
And
you for your
so
time.
they are 3-year sentences, I mean terms, aren't they?
Are they 2 or 3?
Well, I'm wondering because I think there are 3,
Oh, okay.
because we had done some changing around of things and whatnot, so.
Mr. Mayor, actually, after you do the interviews tonight, we'll tabulate the ballots, but this will be on the December 13th council meeting for you actually to take formal action to appoint each of the candidates. So it would be December 13th, we should
All right.
have a final decision.
But it'll be
good.
obvious in the packet before that meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thanks for taking the
You
time
bet.
tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tashara.
Thank you for your past service, too.
Mr. Mayor, I think our next candidate, Mr. Bozer, is, his wife was pregnant and was due this weekend. So my guess, he may not be here because of that. So
If that's all it takes to make a commissioner not show up,
Really makes you question his commitment, huh?
No, if he was here instead, we would have him committed. It's more like it.
yes, right. So let's see, he was supposed to be 5:35, so,
Right. And so,
yes, well, so the next one after him would be in, Sebald, is that?
Seabold, I believe.
Sebald?
We'll have to ask. That's
Although here comes somebody else, or 2 people, or?
No, that's my wife.
Oh, okay.
That's correct.
She's the lucky one, she's just an observer.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you tonight?
I'm fine, Mayor.
Good. Thank you very much for expressing some interest and taking time to come in
Sure.
on what I presume is still a kind of a crummy night out there.
Well, it's not freezing rain yet, so I appreciate that.
All right. Well, we'll try to keep the interview short so you can get home before the temperature drops.
Good.
We have a question that's being asked by each member of the council. Right now, Councilmember Lannis had let us know that he was going to be late tonight.
Oh, okay.
And so his question is being asked by City Manager Antonin. So you'll have 5 questions that are
Okay.
slated questions. And we'll, of course, be interested to hear that. There might be a follow-up question or 2 if somebody wants to. And then when we get done, if you have some questions you want to ask us, you can ask us questions. But we have about, 10, 15 minutes to go through the interview.
Okay.
And so we'll just go down in the order that they're listed on our sheet of paper, which now, of course, we're switching to
It's me first this time.
questions. So Mr. Nephew would be first.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Terry, and thank you again for applying. Jerry.
It's a T, Terry.
Is it a T?
It is T.
His application says Terry.
His
so-
application, so that, my mistake.
I guess I wasn't looking at the.
Typo,
Sorry.
huh?
Ah,
My error.
the interview schedule has it spelled wrong. Well, Terry, thank you for coming.
Pleasure.
My question for you is at least 2 parts. So here's the longer part. What is the extent of your knowledge of basic land use planning principles? For example, the purpose and intent of a comprehensive use plan, land use plan, or the purpose and intent of zoning land?
only in my own mind and vision. The only